God can fulfill any role you want him to. You can portray God as being like this maniacal, patriarchal guy in a white robe sat in a chair, like casting down lightning bolts and sending people like into the hellfires of fire and brimstone. You can have that image of God if you want. You are a free will being. Choose what you want, right? But wouldn't it be better if we kind of lived with this idea of God, source, the divine creator, as this omniscient, gorgeous, loving energy that pervades the entire universe that we can tap into anytime we want? That feels like a much more, I wouldn't say grounded expression of God, although in some ways it is. I'd like to say it's more of a inviting, invitational expression of God. It's like, who wouldn't want that? Like, do you not want that? I want that. I want that universal love in my heart. I want that cosmic love. That sounds fucking delicious. Yes, please. Give me my ticket. The ticket you buy is the beliefs that you hold, though. Like, what beliefs do you want to hold? What beliefs do you want to hold around God, the divine, the creator? Like, it's up to you. Like, we all get to choose what reality we create. We are the architects of our reality. And the way we do that is through choice architecture. Like, we are literally manifesting our reality with every single choice, whether it's consciously or unconsciously. If we're unconsciously manifesting, then we're working through our subconscious programs, and we're allowing them to be the drivers of this human experience. And, running off some subconscious programs is all right. Breathing, kind of necessary. Walking, kind of like doing some of the lesser important things that we need to do. It's kind of good to throw it to the subconscious. Let's outsource what we can. But if we're bringing our subconscious, which is rooted in, let's be real, trauma and lack, that's what we're talking about here. Not even lack, just like pieces within us that we've taken on throughout our childhood and throughout our formative years, our adolescent years. And we allow all of those errant programs to become the architecture of our choice, then things can go a little bit awry. I've kind of seen that and experienced that in my own life. I think, it's a rite of passage for us all. We've all got our own shit, right? We've all got to move through some sort of baggage to a greater or lesser extent. So, with that said, if we've got this idea of God that's rooted in our subconscious through religious institutions, through whatever denomination of religion you want to name, I'm not going to go into specifics, a lot of those archetypal expressions of God aren't they aren't that kind, really. Some of them, and I stress some of them, quotation marks, some. What about this universal expression of love? What about this divine, loving, devotional, co-creative expression that God's really in with us, right? And that we are in with God? What about that? You don't really hear that named in the scriptures. You don't really hear that named too many places. Why don't we have more of that? And, if we hold that belief, if we really be with that as an experience, we can have it. And I've experienced it. Like, I'm beginning to experience it. I'm not saying like I'm totally source connected, like absolutely 100% always connected to God. It's a journey for me. Just bringing in some of my personal anecdotal experience now. I've been moving through the tides of life, up and down and up and down. And I've been looking to God. I've been beginning the conversation with God. I've been beginning my own dialogue with God. I've been trying it through journaling. I've been trying it through walks, meditations, through song, through dance, through various medicines, through quantum healing, through as many different avenues and entry points as I can find to deepen into what that expression of God means to me. And I've found really powerful pieces. I've found moments of, I wouldn't say great oneness. I have. I've had those oneness insights. But insights are just insights. They can so easily become infotainment if we don't do anything with them. And I've done a lot of that on my journey. Like, I've channeled some incredible pieces of wisdom, some great pieces of intuition, and I've gone, wow, that's incredible. Next. It's so easily done. Like, the commodification of the journey is so easily done. It's like a side tangent. But all that to say, I found these moments, these great moments, that have been their own mini awakenings. But then the actions haven't really, the elections? Yeah, the elections. The aligned actions haven't really matched up with those little awakening experiences and big awakening experiences. But what's really helped for me, and it's something that I actually wrote down like quite a few years ago as one of my big key breakthroughs, was the journey onwards is the journey inwards. And it really is. But I found it, I wouldn't say found it difficult to embody that. I've just been embodying that in a way which wasn't really that embodied. I'm kind of contradicting myself here now, sorry. And what I mean by that is, I was more in the cognitive realms. Like, I was really showing up for myself. I was really showing up in connection with this greater source, with like great mystery, with God, with the divine creator, with that greater power, that greater expression of light that we're all seeking on the journey. But it just wasn't it. Like, journaling alone, even doing ceremony, even doing great prayers, like, it kind of wasn't working for me. Like, not in the way that it can do consistently. And the big breakthrough for me over the past few weeks, I've been a quantum healer for 7 years, and I've done a lot of self-sessions, like a tremendous amount of self-sessions, like hundreds and hundreds of self-sessions. Like, I find it really easy to engage in self-hypnosis, just guiding myself through, just talking. And as I've been on this divine feminine journey, I've really let down, slowed right down, and just guided myself deeper and deeper and deeper into that great mystery within. That slow, that much space, at that pace. Yeah. Creating a completely different frequency of time. Just allowing all of me, giving myself full permission. And what I found within that, in my various journeys of the morning in my practice, is an incredible light. Like a really incredible light. I've touched into the light of God. And I've had some heart-cracking experiences. The heart's still kind of walled off a little bit. It's opening more and more. I've had these incredible experiences of a very embodied expression of divine light, I'll just call it. But in contrast with that, even though the heart's been opening a lot, both my heart center and my physical heart, I found today, like, despite the beauty of the experience that I was moving through, as I really allowed this divine feminine light into me, I could feel all the walls around my heart, and I've called it the industrial victimized complex. You know, pun on the industrial military complex. And I've moved through a lot of victimhood. That's part of my own narcissistic programming that I'm, overcoming right now. And it's very related to my Cancerian self. I'm a Cancer rising and various other bits and pieces. And so that's the heart journey that I'm on right now. Because as long as I live in victimhood, as long as I'm portraying and projecting onto someone this archetype of the abuser, the aggressor, the antagonist, I'm not taking responsibility for my life. And that responsibility that I need to take is really being with the heart and opening the heart. I'm abandoning my heart. It's become so walled off, through various different traumas and various different episodes throughout my life. And it's only now, as I'm really deepening into the self, that I'm seeing just how much I've closed my heart off from love. I've closed myself off from God for so long because of my own programming. That programming was, I was raised a Catholic and did my confirmation, my Holy Communion. My full name is Samuel David James Boomer. So I've got a real proper long name, right? Proper Catholic name, full-blooded Catholic name. And I got so far on my journey. And my mum took me to, obviously I went to like Saturday school and all the rest of that. I was always interested in the esoteric. And when I got to the age of 18, I was really kind of disillusioned with God. I'm like, this isn't doing it for me. It's really not doing it for me. And I divorced myself from God at age 18 as I began thinking about the world in my own way, in my own separate way. Admittedly, like totally immature way. When I was 18, like very immature. It would have served me better to stay with God. But here we are. So I let go of this idea of the Christian institutionalized expression of God. I was a bit in the wilderness for a while, and then I found spirituality when I was 21 and went on this journey for like a lot of years. But what I found now in coming back to this idea of God and being held by God and being one with God is, in my rejection of God, the divine, the creator, when I was 18, I couldn't divorce God, the supreme being, from religion. I just threw it all out energetically. And so it's been this real, how do I say it? Just definite reticence towards allowing God in. Kind of a fear of God, and definitely a mistrust of God. Not a lot of faith there in this higher power. It's really been driven home to me oh wow, I really don't believe in God. But I want to be with God. I really want to be with God. I'm a child of God, We're all children of God. And we can all have that experience. We can all have that experience of universal love if we want to take the journey. If we don't, that's fine. We can live our human life a different way. And so for me, that journey's become really central to my life right now. It's become one that it's really deeply inspiring. It's deeply inspiring. I'm seeing God everywhere and in everything now, in everyone. It's a slow revealing, but I'm seeing more of that divinity in the happenstances of life. The synchronicities, the small animal medicine calls, the whispers of the wind, stepping out for a walk and, the sun casting over and catching me just as I'm in the middle of a really profound thought, really feeling the earth and feeling how the divine speaks in all ways. Lots of these really small micro mystical experiences. Just really feeling really feeling into the divine and really welcoming the divine. It's a slow revealing, but there's beauty in that slowness.